Hello everyone, my name is Gulshan Memoria. I'm the CEO and founder of Inspiredvalley. We have started this series called the Inspired Valley School Initiative, where every week we take some of the prominent topic. Like today's topic is why we should move beyond grades to measure learning. And to discuss this topic, we have some esteemed panelists with us. The very first speaker we have is Dr. Moupali Mittra. She is working as a principal at MDN Public School, Rohtak, Haryana. And we also have Miss Divya Krishnan. She is working as a principal at DPS School, Pali, Jodhpur, Rajasthan. I welcome you both the speakers. Today we also have
Thank
a
you so much.
co-moderator, Ms. DEEPTI ARORA. She is working as a senior headmistress at Manav Rachna International School, Gurugram, Haryana. I welcome you, DEEPTI.
Thank you, Gulshan. And I welcome on behalf of Inspired Valley and Gulshan, of course, all the esteemed speakers.
Great.
Welcome to the show.
So let me start
Thank
can say today's discussion on this wonderful topic that why we should move beyond grades to measure learning. I mean, as we have seen in the recent past, a lot of changes have happened in the recent years in the field of education. Now, if you see the market, the corporate market, now they are not just following the degrees; they're following the skills as such, right? You don't have to do the masters or the PhDs, then you can get a job. There are many jobs are available in this market. If you have the right skill at the right point, then you can easily get the opportunity. So let's take this as a base to our today's conversation. Let me put it my very first question with Dr. Mitra. Dr. Mitra, how can schools encourage the students to become active participants in their own learning journey by focusing on self reflection, goal setting, and the development of metacognition skills rather than solely relying on the external evaluation?
Uh, Very good evening, sir. Gulshan sir rightly said that these days we are really focusing more on skill
Exactly.
with the complete focus and implementation of NEP 2020. Now we cannot move aside with the rote and write and let the things go on with the scores. It is beyond the grades. The
Exactly.
concept of beyond the grades, and you have inculcated one word that you have mentioned is metacognition, which is very very important to understand. People at times misinterpret with the word. It is basically nurturing self awareness in classroom. The teachers should understand the nurturing self awareness within the classroom structure, where we can actually initiate, mobilize teaching and learning process in a beautiful way. Most of the schools, most of the private schools are implementing it for years,
Hmm.
but now we are getting the definition to it. A code definition is being given, and beautifully everybody will have to do, because now the aptitude based, the skill examination, implementation of shuffle, which
Hmm.
is going to create a boom around in the education system. We cannot keep it aside that rote learning will work. Shuffle is
Exactly.
going to really maintain the balance of education irrespective of the boards. When we talk about metacognition, I would like to really focus when students practice metacognition,
Hmm.
the which is the act of thinking about their thinking, that help them make greater sense of their life experiences. We
Hmm.
talk about the experience in the classroom, which is to be connected to their life experience and start achieving at higher levels. It is very very important for them. Self awareness, when just like that, self awareness doesn't mean that I am alert. It is a part of compass advantage. When we go into the core of it, it is a compass advantage term is given, which is a model
Hmm.
designed for engaging students in the class, engaging families, engaging the schools, engaging communities in the principles of youth development.
Hmm.
That is again a very important thing. We need to involve the youth and connect them to the community. We talk about community education. I understand many are doing, but many are just doing it as a curriculum. But now we will have to connect it, because a lot of vocational things, lot of value education, lot of creativity is into existence. Skill based education is into existence, and
Exactly.
they are now completely compulsory for each one. Will have to. I will just focus one point, that what is the
Please do.
awareness that will be inculcating within the compass advantage.
Hmm.
Although it plays a critical role in how students make sense of life experiences, and the compass advantage is completely linked
Mm-hmm.
with empathy. It is linked with the curiosity, it is linked with the creativity, it is linked with the sociability, integrity, resilience, resourcefulness, and finally it completely compactly make the self awareness. When these small little things, it is a compass structure that is being designed by the modern education system. We
Mm-hmm.
call it as compass because it caters to all these parts.
Hmm.
And why we need to efficiently implement is all because enhances the ability to think.
Exactly.
uh, Today children have forgotten that. They go with the course, they run with the curriculum, they score, because they'll have to get into either IIT or JEE or NEET or NDA or maybe banking sector. Later on, some profession they think about and they move and try to grab that. But
Hmm.
here we will have to enhance their ability to think.
Hmm.
Thinking ability cannot be nurtured just like that. It is not that one question is there, we have taught you and now start thinking. It is not that ability.
Exactly.
The ability to think about one's thinking ability, which will actually enhance with the age.
Hmm.
We call it as experience. It enhances with the age. And when we talk about growth, we
Hmm.
reflect on cultivating basically the abilities to reflect on, monitor, and rejuvenate their learning strategies. Various learning strategies are there that we rejuvenate. Students become more self reliant, they become more flexible, more knowledge, more experience, they become flexible, and then the productivity could be seen. These are the core thing that requires. We talk about metacognition needs to be inculcated, we need to practice, but these all are the things, but they need a strategy.
Exactly.
when we
Yes.
when we talk about it, students need a strategy how to implement. What teachers need strategy how it can be lived inside the classroom or maybe connected in the school. I would like to focus on just few strategies, whatever can be implemented,
Please,
because the
please do that. Yes.
structures are different. Every school has their own structure. Every students community has their own ways of understanding. They have their limitations also. So
Hmm.
it could be for a classroom, teach student how their brains are wired for growth.
Hmm.
Everybody's brain is not completely into the same wiring structure as we see in the circuit.
Hmm.
They are differently wired. A fixed mindset, that means a fixed mindset needs to meet with a growth mindset.
Hmm.
This transition is required. They
Exactly.
are to be engaged in reflective thinking
Hmm.
about how they learn to grow.
Hmm.
We need to give students practical recognizing recognition that what they don't understand.
Hmm.
There are many things they don't understand. Just
Exactly.
not ask them to rote it. We will have to give them the practical recognition to it. We need to provide opportunities to reflect
Hmm.
on coursework. Of course there is a curriculum, we will have to reflect on the coursework also. Higher order thinking skills are fostered
Hmm.
as students learn to recognize their own cognitive growth.
Hmm.
It is they will have to inculcate the thought process to learn to recognize their own level of understanding, their own way of understanding, how they can create and reach the goal.
Exactly.
Students will have to maintain their learning journals. Journals I call the pathway, or maybe the diaries can be maintained, where we will have to encourage creative expression through
Hmm.
whatever journal formats work best for learners. There's a different formats that work best for each child. So
Great.
including mind map, maybe some children are more motivated through blogs or some informations are there. It can be through Wikipedias, it can be online some the
Dr. Mitra,
courses,
let me take the views with Divya ma'am
right?
also. है ना?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, Divya ma'am would like to have your views on the similar question. What you think? I mean, do we have to focus on the similar things, or by changing the time, we should be focusing on the new aspects as well, which rightly pointed out by Dr. Mitra. Over to you.
Yes, yes, it's really. Is it audible now?
Yes.
Is it fine?
Perfectly fine.
Because actually it was raining very badly, so I think somewhere the network issues will be coming. Anyway, first of all, I would like to thank the team Inspired Valley to give an opportunity to express our thoughts. As we principals, we exchange ideas here and there. It definitely help our academics and the learning process. So what Madam has told, it's absolutely right.
I think there was some problem with this
I think
internet.
we lost her.
Yes,
Yes.
it's absolutely fine. Dipti, you want to conclude anything so that we can,
I would
because
like
I
to
have
say
one
that
question. Yeah.
yes, during this, everybody is talking about 21st century skills. So what is it all about? I think this is one question is often asked in schools, that what are the schools' role in developing these 21st century skills? So very rightly said by Ma'am Mitra about holistic assessment, and how moving beyond grades and reaching to such level where we can assess their learning also, but not into that very close within four walls of classroom, but we have n number of ways wherein we can assess their grades. Like she was talking about growth mindset, which is very very important, wherein we can give a kind of a freedom to the child, where the child can critically think. Of course, with the help of his own creativity, he can come up on his own consensus, and is responsible, becoming responsible to take his or her own actions. And I think that moving, we can adopt very comprehensive assessment methods that capture full spectrum of students' abilities and potential. Maybe we can give them the opportunity of making small measurable goals, which they can make, and they can measure, yes, they have achieved this, which gives them a different level of confidence, and can, of course, we can reach up to the level where we can assess them. I think all children, they know all the courses syllabus. Not today, maybe by tomorrow they'll be able to all learn. It is all about skills. What are we going to learn? That is why CBSE is offering all about skill and vocational studies nowadays, even in the curriculum. We talk about, if we talk about NEP 2020, it is all talking about four C's, which we want: collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and confidence. I think by giving ample subject enrichment activities, multiple this project kind of a thing, in which the child is experiencing each and everything on his own, and come up with his solutions. So absolutely rightly said by Ma'am Mitra.
Great. I just wanted to ask one question. I mean, when we say that we should be moving beyond grades to understand or check it out the student's ability, right? When ma'am said, okay, the ability to think, self-reflection, reflective thinking, creative thinking, then many things needs to be sorted and needs to be pointed out. Okay, now these are the skills which you need to focus on. But at the same time, there are not as such method through which we can check it out, okay, that you have this much of skill in you, right? Secondly, when we talk about the schools, whenever the results came, I mean recently this 12th standard results came, or the 10th standard results came, all the schools posted, okay, that we have got 100% results, out of which 10 students got 95% above marks, right? So in somehow that we are creating an atmosphere that only 5 students, those who have got above 96, only those photos will get published, right? So everywhere, if I'll be getting 9, don't take the otherwise, but we are creating an environment. If I'll be getting 98% regardless of anything, right, that okay,
Absolutely right,
and
Gulshan.
only
But this
only
is
then I
happening
will
at
be
school as well.
recognized. Yeah, only then I will be recognized. So again, at the same time, this is a paradox, isn't it?
Yes.
We want them to be focused on the other areas, but at the same time there is such no method as such wherein we can check it out, that you have this much of creative thinking or this much of critical thinking, analyzing. There are few ways. Currently there are many students who are focusing on becoming an entrepreneur. So if one or two students have an idea, or they get recognized from any of the government or any of the startup club, then there could be a possibility, then we can recognize that you have some of the creative thinking or analytical ability.
I would like to
Please,
interrupt
please,
you,
please,
Gulshan,
ma'am.
because this is a very important thing. And earlier we used to, and now also we have the career counseling sessions, right? With the professional career counseling, there are different ways and methods of skill identification. Many of the school goes for it, and many parents also goes for it. It is now should be now implemented in a compulsory way, because the
Hmm.
skill identification assessment, where
Hmm.
career assessment test or character strength identification, all
Hmm.
these skill assessment tests should be enhanced from the very beginning, so that children are groomed with the concept of it. The
Hmm.
child should know, I need to enhance this, I need to enhance this. Because when we curve them only ki it is 20 out of 20, wow, it's not 20 out of 20. It should be your skill needs these potential more, and you have so much of this skill. This assessment needs to be enhanced. We talk about one line, that is CCE.
Hmm.
When CCE was there, we remember the report card used to be so huge,
Very
two-page
detailed
report.
and comprehensive.
Yeah, it was
You're
not
It
right.
so
was
easy.
very
What
comprehensive.
compiling those results were such a, I mean, Herculean task for we principals.
Yes.
But I still feel we were so deep rooted at that time with our children that these marks are not able to cater to that level.
Hmm.
Yes, and we were able to recognize their
Yes,
diverse talents and skills which they had that time.
Hmm.
and
Hmm. Hmm.
I totally agree.
in
Yes.
case we were missing out something, we were hunting for it. These columns are still vacant, look for it, what is there, what is missing. So that was somewhere we were actually observing our children. We were looking into the detail of their skill.
Hmm. Hmm.
Something like that needs to be again enhanced, although we enhance the things as per our curriculum and government instruction, but we need to enhance something from our side also, because time is changing.
Hmm.
Time is changing. I agree to you. You said that 98% and it is showcased.
Yes, it's
But
everywhere. It's
yes,
everywhere because I am
I
connected
agree.
with almost 250 principals minimum on WhatsApp, and I saw everyone are posting the photographs. Though
Yes.
I understand
Gulshan,
there's one
unfortunately,
marketing
I think
part
marks
of
have
it.
a
Okay,
different value only in our
Yes.
school education
but
system.
indirectly we are creating this an atmosphere where okay, one student if he got 80% marks, then okay that he is not feeling that motivated. The similar way the person who's got 96% marks,
And
right?
whereas I would say that 80% is also not a bad marks, but we
It's
are not
Not
good.
at
giving
all.
that value. It's only 95 and above that, all children can be, they are recognized and they are being felicitated.
See,
I,
in my
Absolutely.
point of view, yes.
I would like to add on this one more line, that now little bit of mindset has changed, because various higher education colleges have started giving liberty not to the marks. Even if the marks were less, they are still providing scholarships and all. It has
Yes,
motivated them like anything.
exactly.
But
Yes.
ma'am, if we talk about CUET, which has come up, they are just taking care of the marks first of all, and then they see look at the CBSE scores, and then they give the subject. So there is
Ma-
still something which is happening on the basis of marks,
Ma'am,
even
if
now.
CUET is concerned, the result is yet to come on 15th. We are waiting for that also. But if a child has not scored in JEE examination with a 90 percentile, then also based on CBSE 80% marks, also 20% scholarship is given, which
Hmm.
is not bad. It is too much encouraging for everyone. CUET is catering to various so many good number of colleges. Now I think these are going to reduce the hung for 99 percentile.
Hmm.
It will reduce the hung for it, because children feel very dejected when only 1% result in the school reflects IIT selection, or maybe BIT 1 or 2 golden moons shines here and there. They feel there should be something more which can encourage. This year I could see that in the face of the students, ma'am. We are waiting for CUET. That's really wonderful that we will make it out, because good number of colleges are going to be entertained there. I mean
That is
this.
why now schools are coming up with the psychometric testing and all
Yes,
that.
yes.
Reason being that they want them to recognize their own talents and giving them assurance that if it is not possible here, so you have another windows open for you and
Lo-
you should not feel
yes.
demotivated and all. Absolutely, we are coming up with a lot of solutions as well, but rightly said by Gulshan that unfortunately marks has a lot of value
No,
nowadays.
Absolutely.
I've also one solution at the same time. For an example, I mean, because we should be creating a mechanism wherein we are projecting with the parents also, that your child is not just getting good marks or having 75% marks, but he is also good in these many areas, and at the same time that he has participated in these many skills or these many can say scholarships or any sort of kind of clubs or participation, that he's got this much of recognition. So do not compare your child just on the basis of the marks, isn't it?
Uh, I actually want that the government should come up with the schemes where they are going to consider many skills while taking admission in higher education, because I don't know how much people are facing, but I have seen something cropping up new, that is a
Mm-hmm.
system of academy.
Mm-hmm.
People are leaving the schools and they are going to academies. I don't know why they want to become a machine for learning. I mean,
That is a debatable thing. I think that we should not get into this. Okay, let me also introduce our other speaker. I believe Miss Hulsur Jayasree has joined us. Yes, ma'am. You need to unmute yourself. So let me
Yeah,
introduce Miss Hulsur Jayasree. She is working
yes.
as a principal at G.Pulla Reddy Memorial School in Hyderabad.
Good evening, one and all.
Very good evening, ma'am. So we are discussing on this wonderful topic, that why we should move beyond grades to measure the learning.
Yeah, actually, I was just listening to you all. The inputs is actually now children are exposed to different areas, different skills, and all that. And many career options are also given. There are many people who are doing the career opportunities and workshops for all the students
Mm-hmm.
also. And now even newly introduced one is the IAS academies for the sixth grade and above.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain schools which have implemented that, and we have also taken this for our sixth class students, where they'll be enrolling. It's a free coaching for them. They can take the online test, the test which the IAS officers have. From the basic standards, we can start preparing them, because usually they take around 1.5 years for preparation of their IAS for passing the prelims and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I come to know from the beginning itself, because many students don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
In Hyderabad, especially, they know only the MPC and BIPC, which Narayana, Gayatri, Chaitanya are ruling.
Yes.
So now the children are coming out of box and thinking something different. There are many options for them.
At least they have a different option
Implementation of
now.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Recently,
this is
yeah,
the
recently
platform.
I've traveled to Hyderabad. There are two schools. One is Tatva Global School. One is there's the one more school out there. So I've conducted the teachers training. So there, like we've discussed in length with the principal and director, that every student is focusing heavily on becoming an IITian.
Yeah.
Right?
And the mere peer pressure for the children is the parents are more focused on that. They
Yes.
said that this is what the child has to do.
Hmm.
IIT or engineering or medicine. These are the
Mm-hmm.
areas where the child should crack the examination and go. But there are many, many options open for them.
But they don't
And
want to look at these
he is
options
becoming a
because this is a
stakeholder because
social
he
pressure
cannot
to it.
say
Yes.
the
Dipti,
child
you
is
wanted to
not
ask
able
your
to.
question? Please, you can ask the question with Halsar ma'am.
Yeah, hello. You wanted me to?
No, nothing, nothing. Miss Dipti will be
Yeah,
asking the
Yes,
question
yes,
with you.
I'm asking. I'm asking Gulshan, just a minute.
Sure.
Okay, so ma'am, my question to you is this. What strategies can school employ to engage parents and guardians in the transition away from traditional grading systems, helping them understand the value of alternative assessment methods in capturing a more comprehensive picture of their own child's learning?
so there are many strategies that we can implement now, because the NEP has changed and the government, the central government is also introducing many different assessments for the children.
Mm-hmm.
And then slow and study, all this education is given for the parents first, because they need to understand when their children are taking these assessments.
Mm-hmm.
So when the assessments are in a different form, let it be a open text or analyzing or experiential learning and all these things, on these basis the exams are being conducted for the children. So
Mm-hmm.
when this education is given for the parents, we have various workshops which we conduct
Hmm.
regularly for them, and these inputs are given, like how do we conduct for the exam, what would be the sort of questions that we'll be asking them. And once the parent come to know, then they understand how different it is and how a child can excel.
Mm-hmm.
So we do all these methods which we have adopted, and then implementing it on the children from the grade 1. And now the children are habituated in reading the textbooks. Previously, they were rote method where they used to follow, and now they have changed the system, the case-based studies and all that, which they apply. So regularly in their day-to-day life, also if they come across anything, they start applying that one with their academic tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am Mitra, would you like to add on to it something? What strategies are we following in our school?
We are also following something very closely. When we are nurturing students, we are nurturing the basic same group of catering to the same group of students, their children. So their order of thinking is same.
Mm-hmm.
We do encourage our parents to come up with their learning methodologies at time to share their views on various topics, be a part of school. Partnering with the school at time we encourage so that they can in one line they can understand the plight of teachers also and the school also, and in the second way they learn many things how to tackle these children with the same concept at home,
Hmm.
because with the changing time children are more inclined towards digital mode.
Hmm.
When they are come to digital mode, then they somewhere disconnect the connectivity with the parents.
Hmm.
Somewhere they disconnect the connectivity. When they disconnect the connectivity, then parents actually do not come to know how they are doing and what should be the methodology. Here we sometimes connect them. They can be a part of that teaching. That is the community connect and the partnership with the parent, where parents understand the positivity and the change of learning pattern,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
which is more important. We talk about life skill. Nobody has time how
Hmm.
to teach them, where to give the exposure, because the entire day is completely divided into school, coaching, and the basic need.
Hmm.
How the life skill can be taught. So somewhere we small in a small slots we try to connect them where they can understand to boost the interest in learning. How to
Hmm.
boost the interest? Those
Hmm.
are where a child needs to connect with the parent. Parent need to connect with the school. The school again enhances the interest of the children and give it to the parents as well. The
Absolutely right, ma'am. Because just with this life skills classes, I just would like to add here that in our school we celebrated a gratitude week, in
yes.
Hmm.
which there we wanted our children also to come up with some kind of gratitude which they had done, and we invited the parents as well that how to inculcate those skills in children. So
Hmm.
that was something really a very interesting way of engaging parents. So we did that gratitude week. So I just wanted to share with that that's a very good idea, even if like the way
Yeah,
you were saying the
there are
life.
many areas where we can put forth all these life skills for them.
Yes.
Like one is journalism, one is again like taking the cameras out
Hmm.
and having media coverage. And recently we had sent our students for the under 18 elections and making their own portfolios. And now they're contesting for MLAs, school MLAs. So every student, they themselves, after taking the training from the secretariat, they come and they have the same cabinet ministers from various different schools of CBSE.
Hmm.
So this is one of the skill, and then they know how to contest what they have to do. So in
Hmm.
the main course, their student council election was conducted, and they were able to guide them in a perfect way, like what is election and how you need to elect and who will be selected, what categories they'll be shortlisted in, and all.
Hmm.
And this is one area, and again they had been outside to the nearby places covering the media coverage, like how are they, what are the problems and all
Hmm.
that. Some questions they prepared for themselves. So when the children are preparing their own questions, what to ask and how, they are they're acquiring knowledge, and the parents are even seeing that
Hmm.
digitally they are completely, they are on digital, but they are, you're using it in a perfect way.
Hmm.
So even parents are also encouraging them and helping them that you can ask such kind of a question and all that. So this
Hmm.
all depends, like all triangle, the teacher, parents, and the students. We need to
Of
give them
course, it's
platform. The child need to
absolutely
work out, and the parent need to help.
help them. Yes,
Great,
absolutely.
great, great. This conversation is going in the very right direction. Okay, let me give you one more view of mine, which I have seen in the schools. See, till 8 until 9 standard with all the activity which the school is doing, everyone is so happy. Till the time they move into the very mechanical mode of clearing the examinations, right? Isn't it so?
Yeah.
That is why it is high time for all their schools to focus on their career counseling. See, IIT is a noble thing. This NEET is a
Right.
noble thing, but this is not the end of it. There are hundreds of the other profession. It's just that the parents are not aware about it. They don't have the confidence. If I'll put it in or summarize in such a method, for an example, there are 20 this year 20.3 lakh students gave the NEET examination, and only 1
Right.
lakh seats were there. That is in government and semi-government institutions. If you talk about the aims, only 700 to 1000 seats were there. So if you can, I mean, yourself calculate the probability. It's just that our society or digital media or this social society has created a balloon around us that okay, now this is the only thing for you. Still, if anyone who is going to create a YouTube channel is having the same probability, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely, because IPL coming in, I think that also offered n number of jobs and in the market. So we are very away from the conventional, and now after this pandemic, I think we have opened up with the when we are on with the normal practices now, we are way beyond with this conventional jobs now. It's really
Currently
good.
there are thousands, there are hundreds of startup comedian, right? And it's a very flourishing profession. If you got a good sense of humor, you can become a good stand-up comedian, but nobody is talking about it.
So we
So
don't talk about that also. Talk
But
that way
after
great.
pandemic, I think, ma'am, now everybody is talking about digital. If you see that we have got a lot of bloggers, and podcasting coming in between, and
yes,
journalism and mass communication, media and designing. It has taken a rocket speed as well. So we have opened
Yeah.
up even that market as well for children.
I think in nutshell, I mean the career counseling is not just one-time affair. It has to be the regular thing, and the teachers, the
Regularly,
entire school
absolutely.
community should take active part on it. That you should not be solely relying on XYZ company to come and deliver a talk on career counseling.
Absolutely. I
First,
just wanted to share.
I
I
would
met
like to
a
add on this.
Yes, ma'am.
The
Please,
thing
ma'am.
is, if we find a spark in a child, a principal or the teacher, because they should be first aware of counseling a child. If you find a spark in a child, and then we need to give them a right direction where they have to take a step and what they have to do, and we can encourage them to do their slight different homework, like what if you do this next, what you have to do, and how you need to approach to the goal that he is interested in. They are
Yes.
few students who are good at painting, who are good at music, who are good at dramatization and delivering the dialogues and all that. So every child has a different way of excelling himself, and they are simultaneously good even at studies. So we can focus and give them a platform, and ask the parents, have a parent teacher meeting with them, one-on-one conversations where we can find these children, and they are a group of children of different categories. So we should identify them, group them, and
identify.
Exactly,
Yes,
we
exactly.
can count
identification is the
in
first step, I think, ma'am, on
international
the roles
companies.
of principals and teachers, where we have to identify their diverse
Right,
talents and skills and guiding them that which way they can go.
right, exactly.
I met one of the parents. We meet usually one-to-one parents after their first PT result, grade 10, and that was a doctor parent. And he himself said that I can see that a lot of children are moving away from PCM and PCB, and they are moving towards commerce and humanities stream nowadays. So when you
Yes.
will be needing doctors, he was talking about that our children, when they will be needing doctors, there will be no more doctors left, because now they're all moving to humanities and commerce stream. So, we had a good, healthy discussion. But yes, he himself wanted his child to be a doctor, but his child was having a different kind of talent. So, he got agreed with that.
I would like to add on
Please, please, Dr.
one
Mitra,
few
please.
points in this. As you said, that people have a conventional thought process of engineers and doctors, but it varies from place to place. I have been at Gujarat. I could see the toppers are moving towards commerce, because at the end of the day they are going to manage a show of factory or maybe the business. My best children at there they were all moving towards commerce. Here in Rohtak, if I talk about, majority are moving towards games. They all want to become a sprinter or maybe the player, and the hunk is for a job that can be well placed through the skill of games. I
Hmm.
mean, I think this is a place to place, and
Exactly.
those who are not able to inculcate the pure habit of games, they are absolutely and in a raw style going for engineering or medical.
Hmm.
I mean, these all things are the myth where we will have to input lot of awareness in students, lot of
Hmm.
awareness, where they should be given a flair of skill, hobby, and it should be a habit.
Exactly.
Skill and hobby that should be developed as a habit, because as you said, Deepti, that a lot of things are happening with the advent of corona has really given a lasting effect. But I must compliment one line: teachers community has developed like anything. We teachers suffered for the salary, but we developed like anything.
Yes,
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
that's
And
a
teachers
there was
community
actually
bounced
a
back.
tectonic shift. I would say that was a paradigm shift from offline to
Absolutely.
online and now back to offline. And of course, that is why, we keep on organizing a lot of workshop, because we have to also open their horizon and widen their horizon of the children as well. That, you don't have to stop with PCM and PCB. It has a lot of good combination of subjects with other streams as well, wherein you can, pursue your career like anything. There is no stoppage to it.
No, they are moving. They are launching a lot of apps. They are launching various games. They are working into AI is into existence now.
yes.
So with the AI, they are moving. They are enjoying the digital structure. Just
Absolutely.
1 year of experience, and now they are not able to leave it. That's also the best part of it. They are not able to leave. There are repercussions, but positivity is also there.
Exactly. Let me share my own experience with this. So before Inspired Valley, I was also started another startup with the name of Inspiring Minds. So I started my career back in year 2013 with CBSE and panel agencies as a teacher's trainer. So I used to conduct training programs on different modules. I'm sure that you have seen or you have heard of CC, right? So this one
Yes.
day CC program, 2 day CC program. So I started my career from that, and I also used to conduct these career counseling programs. So on similar lines, I started this company in the year 2016, and I was thoroughly clear that if I want to conduct this career counseling program, that it has to be the unbiased one. So still we market this as an unbiased program, that we do not have any affiliation with any of the universities, so that our approach should not be biased. If I'll be
Mhm.
taking any amount from any XYZ university, then our approach will going to be biased, right? So
Yes.
when we go to the schools and we conduct this psychometric assessment that leads to one-to-one counseling, first they go with a counselor, then they come to us as a career planner. So there's a process. One is the psychometric assessment, then is career counseling with the psychologist, then leads to career planning. You won't believe, I when we started with the in the year of 2016, 17, 18, 19 till 20, we were heavily conducting these assessments and one-to-one counseling and planning. I am still connected with almost 500 students with me on Instagram, on Facebook, and they still ask me the question. The reason why I have mentioned this as an example, that career counseling is not just one day thing. Every then and now, every 6 months, they ask you a different question, and you should be
Yes.
in a capacity to give him or her the right answer or the right response with
Exactly.
experience, with
Yes, that's true what you say.
so if all the teachers, when of course then our topic is that you should not be focused on mentioning the marks, but if a 35 percentile person is asking you to provide him the solution or an option what to do next, then you should be in a capacity to tell him, okay, if you got 35% mark, this is not the end of it, right? There are many people who would not have just cleared even the 10th standard. They are doing wonders in life. So study is just your exploration of your mind, just broadening the horizon. That doesn't mean if you score 90% marks only, then you will be able to do something.
Hmm.
Fair enough, not everybody is meant to achieve 80%, isn't it? And
Yes.
this is my point of view, but I'm sure, I mean, being a teacher principal, you have might have seen in your own school there are many
Yes,
students
what
who
you
are
said is
struggling.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
there's who are
we have seen
struggling
the
in
80%
studies.
is very good at arts and very good at theater, maybe. And that 95% is only having bookish knowledge and no skills. We have seen those kinds of kids as well.
See, there
They
are
are
many ways
students
to
who are
point out.
once.
There are many ways to point out the n number of things into anyone. But still, I mean, as
Yes,
an educator, our work is to give him the path,
yes.
whatever way possible.
But only thing is how the parents and the children take it and then move on the
Yes,
right path.
yes. So it's a
It
very
all
lengthy
depends on
process.
them.
I'm sure it's a very lengthy process because as being a career planner, we also take a lot of time to have a one-to-one discussions with the principal because with this parents because we need to make him or give them the confidence. Okay, that if
Yes,
the person is going in that direction, that he'll be able to achieve something good in his life.
right.
Absolutely right, Gulshan. When when we counsel our parents when they come and they meet after 10th, approaching boards and all, then we have to guide them that your child is good at this and good. It is sometimes so difficult for a parent to accept this fact that my child is not meant for science. My
Hmm.
child
Hmm.
is not meant for bio,
Hmm.
PCM and PCB. So it is a job of a counselor, then the principal and the teacher to actually make them understand that it is not the end of it. Your child is very good at art kind of a thing or a commerce background. So I have seen that it is very difficult for parents to accept this fact, and that is
Exactly.
the role of a teacher and a principal to guide there, that it is just not the end. We have a way beyond
on
for your
on
child.
this similar path, on this similar thing, I would like to ask you next question. Anyone, Dr. Mitra or Hulsur ma'am can give the response. So how can educators strike a balance between providing the constructive feedback and fostering a growth mindset while moving away from the sole reliance on grades as a measure of achievement? Because here now we are talking about the giving the constructive feedback and also focusing on having a growth mindset.
Growth mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone, Dr. Mitra or Halsar ma'am
All
can
right.
give. Yes.
When we talk about a growth mindset, then we
Hmm.
actually program the mindset for understanding skill, reasoning skill.
Hmm.
See, NEP has already given a little turn and twist to it. Value based education, project based education, a lot of skill is
Hmm.
into it. Practical approach is there. Then again, multiple choice question has really replaced a lot of things. So here we normally every principal is forcing on the multiple choice question, objective question, practical approaches, investigatory project, which is in a different form project based in the middle section also, primary also, and coming to ninth and 10th when they get curved into basically wrote and write. We
Hmm.
are concerned there only. When they come into wrote and write, there we are focusing for the core concept.
Hmm.
When we said that see anytime anything can happen, you have seen corona, 50% course was there, but it was all multiple choice, so it was not so I mean initially easy for them to score in multiple choice question.
Hmm.
People say the course is not coming, but multiple choice question is not also easy because for years they were learning the methodology of essay type questions, lot of
Yes.
essay types things. So it was so difficult for them.
Hmm.
When that things turned around, they said now the multiple choice is not coming, we need to write such a lengthy answers and we have lost the habit. So a lot of things goes on here. What we do is we train them, if you do it you just write that. It
Hmm.
is difficult, but since we have seen the corona times, we are coming to the structure because uh, I share one very short experience. I was motivating my children with how you can go beyond the grade. This is
Hmm.
one topic which is connected, and it was basically till class ninth I was catering to.
Hmm.
I told them various points, work with your mastery, gain the mastery in the points that you have. Don't think about the scores because you need to understand. As a
Hmm.
principal, I was giving, and I also gave the point that scores are never final.
Hmm.
You can still achieve, you can still achieve. They are never the final. In any case, if you have not achieved, next chance you can definitely make it out. Shift
Hmm.
your focus to skill set,
Hmm.
because even if you do not get into IITs and now a lot of diploma courses are into existence, now NEP has given you chance to master yourself with that also.
Hmm.
This is what I was counseling them. One child came up with a beautiful. I also say learn from your failures and work with your attitude, no matter what you gain as a
Hmm.
marks. The child said, "Will you be able to handle, ma'am, if my parents stare at me and hit me if I do not score?" That was a beautiful line, yeah. I say, "Is it so that your parents are scared of the marks?" The child said, "At the end, if I'll not carry this result, they are not going to entertain me."
Hmm.
So it is not the mindset of the child. It is the
Yes.
mindset of the parents that needs a shift from normal school towards beyond the classroom. What else could be done for a successful child in the society?
Exactly, exactly. And that
It's
leads to giving the constructive feedback where we like, that's why we asked this question. So again, at the same time as a leader, because every time then and now, the principal would not have the enough time to provide the constructive feedback. So again, at the same time, the principal needs to train their workforce in a manner wherein that every teacher should be able to provide the constructive feedback both to the parent and to the student.
So
very
normally, which has been done in various areas. Recently, only the CBSE has took over that for the career counseling of children, and some of the big MNC companies are being exposed for children now. Previously,
Yes.
they were not allowing, but now every CBSE school is enforced to take their students to show them the outlook of where and how.
Hmm.
And once the child come to know when he is entering into those areas and observing the different software industries and other different industries which they are entering into, they themselves will be having a focus that yes, I have to grow and then enter into such kind of a field, and we need to be employed here.
Hmm.
So once the child's mindset is turned, the child will anyhow try to convince the parent,
Hmm.
because the school where my school locality is there, they are all uneducated, and whatever the child says normally, when we take them and the pictures which the children are taking there when they go to a big companies and all that, when they're seeing, observing and talking to people and understanding like how they were here, what were their hard work, what was the effort, and what is the route that they have taken, the child's feedback, and when we ask them to write about the visit of those places, they're able to do it perfectly fine. When the parent is observing that, slow and steady, he's try to understand himself that yes, my child is in the right path, and whatever he's saying, he
Hmm.
tries to enforce that and he's trying to reach out to that position. So this way also we can try out with parents and children as leaders.
That's a wonderful suggestion. We can definitely do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to add something here, Gulshan. NEP is, we all know about NEP 2020, which is calling a shift from an assessment system that is summative and primarily test. They're now
Hmm.
shifting to, more regular and formative and focuses more on competency based learning, which
Hmm.
promotes, learning development for students, and they can test their own abilities, practical skills, and analysis and critical thinking. And I
Hmm.
think when the school is providing that kind of environment, when the teacher is focusing
Hmm.
more on a learner centered kind of a curriculum, and the school is and the teacher is providing, they become more confident and can take their more decisions, that yes, we are good at the skills, and then of course they can go and having
Exactly.
this is a kind of a constructive feedback where even the educator is providing,
Hmm.
the child, that yes, you are good at it, this school and this skill and that, and grades doesn't matter. Maybe that skill has a good grade, and maybe the academic skill has
Hmm.
some little lesser skill.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
competency based learning, I think even the CBSE is coming up with 50% now for competency based questions. Now it's going to come up. So and now we are starting with competency based right from grade 1 level.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That is also
Whenever any educator or a principal mention the NEP, I have this stability. I thought that NEP document is like a Bhagavad Gita. Okay,
Yes.
you need a
Yes.
Krishna. You need a Krishna for you to comprehend first of all this document. And
Yes.
every time you read NEP, you will get something different out of it, isn't it? So to
absolutely.
Yes, and it is
understand
exactly.
helping
all
us
the
also
points,
to
to understand
operate
all
It
the
as
has
points,
leaders.
defined
yes.
school culture, organization structure, that how the school should be, what is the role of a teacher, how the it is all related to it. It has to be child centered. It cannot be. It has to be a student led curriculum. Everything just revolves around that. So yes, it
Yes.
has good 28-30 pages, which is all related to our very important
Hmm.
this educators must know. And of course, rest of the pages is 600 something, 638
600
pages
and
document.
648.
Oh, so that, yeah, that much document. I think it will take some time to go through and understand.
No, we have to go through, but see, there are many brains behind making the NEP,
Yes.
but implementing the NEP it depends on the leader. And as leaders, if we are reading that and educating ourselves to educate our children and the parents, nothing beyond that.
Hmm.
That is why, ma'am,
Because
we are
now,
coming up with all interdisciplinary, multiple projects, differential learning, experiential learning, all these are becoming a part of our curriculum. So NCF and
Yes.
NEP, these are the two documents I think we have to read, go through, learn by heart, and we have to keep on framing and changing our curriculum.
I
Sure.
think
It
even if
I
we do not read or enhance it, now the system is becoming so that we all will have to flow with it.
Yes.
Yes.
We cannot get abided by that, because earlier the implementation part was missing when we had the Kotari Commission, but now we do not have scope to somewhere leave a loopholes. We'll have to flow
We
with
have
it,
to,
Exactly.
and I think that will be a great educational establishment for our entire country if the time comes.
absolutely,
If the time
absolutely.
comes.
Great, great. So till this now, I mean till this time, we had a wonderful discussion on this topic. So let's have a closing remark on this wonderful topic. Again, the topic is why we should move beyond grades to measure the learning. So any closing remark for all the speakers to give? First, let's go with Dr. Mitra, then Halsar ma'am.
Uh, I would like to say, as we are talking about beyond the grades,
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about beyond the grades, we as a leaders will
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure whether we are making grades important or not,
Hmm.
as many of us must have inculcated a habit of putting a grade for the skill in the report card, as
Mm-hmm.
we have made the changes as CBSE is asking for it. So skill based marks are given, but based on the skill based, we will have to enhance the admission in the school also,
Hmm.
promotions also, and the remarks should be in such a way, the recommendation should be such that universities must welcome them,
Hmm.
because that is more important what we are giving them after the schooling. Only the marks, or a way, a long way where they can enhance themselves for their life.
Life,
Hmm.
yes.
That is more important. As a leader, I am trying my level best, because I am at a very differently aware and educated area where I need to move in a different way.
Hmm.
So that's the skill I developed here only, and I believe I'm enjoying it, and I'm trying my level best. In the same way, I want the educators who can enhance the skill and motivate those slow learners also, where they can be excellently placed in the society. That will be our achievement for, as an educator.
Great, great. Over to you, Halsar ma'am.
Right.
Please, your
I would
closing
like to put a
remarks.
light on this. When we speak about grades and all that, I mean, that is also important for a child. When he goes out into the society, he should know and he should be able to compete with the others as well. See, they're skill based, everything is there. But to implement that skill, also, they need the spoken ability, the social development,
Yes.
and with the community, they have to go on. So, once we encourage them, they themselves will follow up with the academics as well as their skill based. So we need to nurture the child in such a way that he's balancing both in his life and
Hmm.
he is successful in getting his outstanding marks and he is able to achieve his own goals as well. That is what I feel like. And I try
Great.
to do that with all the students in the class, be it a slow learner or the other.
Hmm.
The slow learner is given a commission like in his own area, how he is able to excel in, how he can stand for a grade one.
Hmm.
So when he tries focusing on this, then he himself will feel that I'm low in this area and starts focusing even on that, on
Hmm.
his academics as well. So
That's a
he
good
needs to be
suggestion.
a best all-rounder. So they started doing it and we have slowly implemented that. And I have seen a good result out of it for all the children in my school for 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Great, 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 ma'am. Over to you, Dipti. Any last and closing remarks?
I would like to just say, and adding on to what ma'am is saying, Jayasree ma'am. See,
Yes.
reducing stress and anxiety, I think grades, they create a lot of high pressure environment wherein
Yes.
which leads to stress and anxiety among students. So this pressure, it hinders the ability to learn effectively.
Hmm.
We must, and we rather give them and provide them that kind of environment where they enjoy the process of learning, where
Hmm.
they
Exactly.
can learn, they can relearn, they can unlearn. We have to
Hmm.
provide
Yes.
that kind of environment, because we are all talking about 21st century skills, and here we must have our children that capability of unlearning, relearning, and learning.
Hmm.
And they can learn. We have to train them to they should learn to take risk, they should learn from their failures,
Hmm.
and they can focus on their individual growth rather than comparing themselves solely on grade system. So
Hmm.
this
Yes.
is one thing which we really would want in our school system, in our education system. We can then where they can enjoy the process of learning. They should come running to school and they say that yes, we are going to school today.
Lovely.
Great, 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 great. So I'm sure that all the listeners will be delighted after hearing out our discussion, because we have discussed the way that we started our conversation and the point that we have discussed, and this in the past 60 minutes. There are many things. I mean, the schools can directly implement in their school and get some good results. Of course, there's long way to go to achieve very you can say good society, in terms of not just focusing on marks but focusing on the other skills also, the students. So again, I thank you, Dr. Mitra, Halsar ma'am, Dipti, for giving your
Thank you,
precious
Gulshan.
time and sharing this wonderful wisdom to everyone.